Hey there, and welcome to the July 2023 update for the Dallas-Fort Worth housing market. I'm Chase Hansen, your DFW Realtor. Every month I'm here unpacking what it's really like for home buyers and sellers today, not based on headlines and hot takes, but with real data and experience working with clients every day. Not only that, but I'll be looking at one of the top factors influencing the housing market, where it's at, where it's going, so you can be informed whether you're moving, thinking about moving, or may move someday. Happy July! My birthday is the last day of June, so this month always feels like a transition point for me, and it doesn't hurt to get some fireworks and watermelon to do the season right too. As we transition into the second half of the year, I'm going to be adding a new layer to these updates here at the top. It's called Market Watch. This will be the part of the update where I give you the up-to-date numbers on the housing market and home values. The most recent numbers for the median home price in the greater DFW Metroplex is $380,000. For Dallas, it's $415,000, and for Fort Worth, it's $345,000. Now, that median price is up 1.3% from the month before, but it's down 5% from just the year before, just showing how inflated the housing market got last summer. But May and June were the peak of last year, so I'll be watching how that ratio changes as June and July numbers come out over the rest of the summer. And now it's time for news on the ground. This is the part of the update where I give you the on-the-ground report of what it's like to be a buyer or seller in today's market. Sellers are still selling and buyers are still buying, and while the market isn't as fast-paced as it was in spring, we're still seeing a good amount of buyer activity out there since mortgage rates have stayed about the same place most of this year and the amount of inventory available has remained very low. So, most houses tend to sell within the first 2 weeks on the market, and most buyers are still having to be strategic in how they're making their offers to get accepted. That's the current state of the market. Now, before we get into the news and predictions portion of the update and talk about rent prices and some really interesting stuff there, make sure you've liked this video and subscribed to this channel so you can keep up with my updates, home tours, and local DFW content. And of course, my channel has contact info as well if you ever need help buying or selling a house in the DFW area. Now it's time for Nerd Corner. This is the part of the update where I dive into the trends and news stories that are important for understanding and predicting our market. Now this month we're talking about rent. Now depending on where you get your information, you've probably heard one of two things about renting versus buying. Some people think it costs about the same monthly to own a house as it does to rent. The big factor is just saving your down payment. And then on the other side, some people think it costs way more a month to own versus rent, so they just assume it's out of the cards for them. Well, which is it? According to Zillow, the median monthly apartment rent for Dallas is $1,356 a month. And for Fort Worth, it's $1,513 a month. And the median monthly house rental for Dallas is $2,700 a month. And for Fort Worth is $2,240 a month. Now, those are the median rental numbers in each city. So, middle of the road prices for apartments and house rentals. So what's a monthly payment on an average starter home? Say you're buying a house for $300,000. Now that's below the median price in each city, but a pretty common price point for first-time home buyers right now. If you got a 7% interest rate, which has been pretty common this year, and only put down 5%, your monthly mortgage payment would be $1,896 a month. Now, that doesn't include taxes and insurance, but when you add those in at pretty standard rates, you're still at a little under $2,500 a month. So a pretty similar place to renting for many people. Now let's take this one step farther. What if interest rates drop like I expect them to, down to around 6% later this year? If everything else is the same, that brings things down to under $2,300 a month. So these really are similar housing payments to rental costs, and that's assuming a 5% down payment. So $15,000 if you're at $300,000. Putting 5% down is very common with first-time homebuyers. You don't need 20% to get a house. Given that rents keep rising at an average of 3 to 5% a year while mortgage payment stays the same for 30 years, and on top of that you get to control your own space and benefit from the rise in home values and tax benefits over the years, it makes total sense that people care so much about buying houses. And I think this fall will bring some real opportunities for first-time home buyers as we move into the off-season where prices tend to soften a little bit. If you're on the fence about making the change from renting to buying and want some help thinking through the details, or if you're ready to jump in and start looking for a home in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, you can email me at chasehansen@remax.net to talk about your options. No pressure, no obligation. It doesn't cost you anything to have a buyer's agent on your team. If you found this video helpful, make sure to give it a like, share it with a friend, and follow my channel to keep up with the other videos I'm putting out. Follow me on Instagram at Hanson Realtors DFW, where you can also message me for home help. If you have any questions, be sure to leave them in the comments. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.